All right, all right, all right. Hello, everyone. Hey, Zandra, how are you doing? Oh, you're muted, aren't you?
Doing good, thanks. How's it
Your
going?
camera is a little bit blurry still. I don't know what's going on here. Do
I
you know?
cleaned it. I
Yeah.
don't know.
All right. That's okay. Hey, it's great to see everyone again. Thanks for joining this open house. We do that quite often. Feels like I've been on here for ages. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I got sick over the weekend. The whole family actually is sick right now. It's kind of crazy. It's one of those COVID things. So, anyways, we're gonna be here with you, answering your questions, Zandra and myself. Let me pull the chat here. Oh yeah, hello, Candice. Candice is here.
Awesome.
Awesome. Um, Happy to answer any questions you may have. Zandra, I would love to hear from you as well during this show.
Yes, it's
What you're
pretty late.
hearing for folks out there. I know you've been on the phone and talking to tons of people, so we'd love to have you share what you're hearing.
Mm.
Another thing that's actually quite encouraging, I find, is I keep being bombarded. I don't know about you, but I keep seeing all those ads about Google hiring, Salesforce hiring. So it feels like we've turned the corner somehow, and that a ton of those companies that laid off people a while ago, like not too long ago, are now looking to hire back again. Have you seen those ads yourself, Zandra?
Yeah, I've seen some of that, and it looks like also on Twitter, in the recruiter Twitter sphere
Yeah.
or Zitter sphere, however you say it now. It's picking up, so they're seeing a slight uptick. So that is looking pretty promising there too.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, and all the what happened like about a year ago with the layoffs, and then OpenAI launching ChatGPT. There was a lot of fear, doubt on the future of software engineers.
Mm-hmm.
AI is going to eat your lunch, and we're not going to need software engineer
Mm-hmm.
because AI is going to do it for us. Even that AI um, momentum seems to fade away, where people are now realizing that it's a very powerful tool, but it stays a tool and it's not going to replace folks. Some people also talking about how ChatGPT is getting dumber, apparently, because it's so expensive to run. They have to actually make it a little bit more dumb so that it doesn't cost that much, which is
Mm-hmm.
kind of funky. Um, but hey, yeah, we're here. And ask your questions. So we are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, all three platforms. Not X yet, though. Maybe we should look into that. I don't know if we can stream live on X. I think they still have to figure out their video streaming platform. I think Elon
Yeah,
Musk had a big of a trouble lately. I think he was only able to stream for like 4 minutes
yeah.
when he
And
was hoping.
apparently, it
Yeah.
uses a lot of battery too. Apparently,
Oh,
it's not optimized.
oh yeah,
The
that's
app,
right.
yeah. So any
Um,
browser seems better.
so maybe we'll look into that. Of course, we don't really have a battery problem right here. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I can see. So yeah, ask your questions. You have the chat right there. You can type in your questions, and then we'll answer your questions. And while we wait for the first people to chime in, I want to share with you what I've seen. Those ads from Google. So let me bring my screen right here. Puff. So I've been typing in, Google Cloud hiring. What's pretty cool is you see all the jobs that are around. So I'm kind of lucky in Bellevue, Washington. There's a ton of position for with Google in Kirkland, Seattle, which are all nearby cities. But then what's really interesting and intriguing is this: search jobs, Google careers, and you see all those positions that Google is hiring for. Um, 631 jobs, just Google. Now, of course, and we're still saying to our graduates, hey, Google is probably not your first company that you're going to join right after graduating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't think that, this is This is going to be it. Lower your expectations. Go find someone local or some company local that need talent. But what's interesting is, we've always looked at Google, Facebook, Meta as leading the industry in where we're going in terms of hiring or firing.
Hmm.
Seeing, that there's so many positions open at Google. And if you do the same for Meta or Salesforce, you're going to see that as well. That gives a lot of hope that the market is recovering.
Yep, that's pretty
Sandra,
much. Hmm.
while we're waiting for folks to ask their questions here, what are you hearing from the audience? You're on the phone quite a bit, on email
Hmm.
as well, on chat. What are they asking? What are their hopes, fears, questions? Do you mind sharing a little bit with us?
For sure. Yeah. Recently, I've heard from a lot of folks who are talking about having um, an interest and a strong desire, and even family support, and even employer support to
Hmm.
get into coding, but they feel some kind of personal doubt. Can I really do it? Is it really for me? And I heard that from another prospective student on the phone today who even she's already doing a little QA testing at work, and her employer is encouraging her to take a boot camp and offering to reimburse her for it. And she's ready to go, but expressing some doubt. So I tried to help and allay those fears. So I've heard from people in healthcare the past few weeks. That's it's been quite stressful, and enjoying many years in the industry, but time to move on. I've heard a few of those a few times. A lot of different folks in different industries um, looking for a change out. So,
That's
yeah.
interesting. So
Mhm.
they don't feel defeated just yet. They're just worried that they may not be um, ready for it, that they may not
Mhm.
have the skills. How do they explain, like, if you don't really know if you can make it, like, where is that fear coming from? Do you know?
Yeah, I think in her case, today's anecdotal, purely anecdotal example, it was an age related fear, because even though she's been doing QA for a little while, she feels, in the 40s, it's going to be a
Mm,
tough transition. And um, that leads to some trepidation, some nervousness. And then other people feel financially they won't be able to complete the course or keep up with the payments. Some people felt like they want to know if they miss too many of the workshops, how that's going to impact them. They don't have a flexible work schedule.
mhm.
So I don't think it's a lot of question about aptitude,
Yeah,
like, can I really accomplish it? I think it's a question of people are afraid of the risk, or they're worrying about things that haven't happened yet.
yeah,
And sometimes, like, what if I miss, or what if I fail? So it's like life, you have to try everything in life and see what
yeah.
happens.
And at the same time, it's true. I mean, they're signing up for a 6 month, 9 months commitment,
Hmm.
and they don't know what's going to happen, over those 6 to 9 months. So they want to, I guess they're really asking and seeking flexibility in whatever happens, right? And that's what I
Hmm.
think we're trying to offer.
Hmm.
Um, 40 years old, I mean, it's not old. And especially if you've done some QA before, the
Yeah.
transition should be seamless. And you can really connect the dots. Like, it's not like you've just started in the profession. You were there already. So we
Hmm.
have a first question from Bruce. And
Yay.
again, ask your questions on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. We'll see that question
Oh,
right
I
here and we'll
remember.
be able to answer you.
I remember Bruce. Is that junior or senior? Hi, I remember
Oh,
you.
really? Cool. Tell us about it. So you want to, well, please go for it. Answer the question.
Oh, must be junior. Yeah, starting the course. Okay. So, starting on October 23rd, what should you expect? Expect a lot of fun. You'll have an invitation to join the course on that day. You'll get it in your email sometime in the morning, and then your instructor's going to introduce themselves, and you'll be invited to the Discord server, and you'll see everyone, hey, from Austin, hey, from Seattle. You'll see people saying hello, kind of digital high fiving, and you'll want to start studying that material. Put in your access key to get in the course and start studying. And you want to spend at least, a few hours a day, really digging your teeth into the material.
Yeah, in the beginning, it's kind of a smooth start. It's going to be a lot of setting up and getting to meet the community, and
Mhm.
but you don't want to waste a minute, and you really want to get there. And apparently, both junior and senior are here. So did you talk over the phone or something like that? I guess, Zandra.
Bro, we've been in communication, and Dad is a forward-thinking guy. Signing up your child for the boot camp. Now, I wish my dad could have done something like that. That would have been super cool. So,
That's nice.
big ups to you,
All right,
both of
will
you guys. Any relation to Walter Walter Koenig? Let me know in the chat. The
okay.
famous Chekhov.
And apparently, Bruce is going to be with Morgan, both starting with on the 23rd with the web fundamentals. So for those of you who don't know, actually, one of the reasons why we're here right now doing this stream is because the web development fundamentals, the next cohort is starting on October 23rd. And we have something special here at Nucamp, which is if you register 2 weeks before the start of the bootcamp, you pay the quote unquote early bird rate, which is about 15%, 20% less than the full rate. But if you pay within those 2 weeks window, then you pay the full price. So one of the reasons why we're here is to say, hey, don't forget
Yeah.
Monday is the last day to pay the at the early bird rate. If you miss it, it's not such a great deal. You can always, especially for the web development fundamentals, at the end, it's kind of a $50 difference. It, it matters more if you do the 16 weeks or 22 weeks bootcamp. But you can always register for the next one 5 weeks later and have access to the early bird rate. So, not a big deal. But if you're planning to start on October 23rd, you pretty much want to register before Monday. Otherwise, you'll just waste $50.
Mm.
All right, we have another question, and RS is here. Hello. So again, ask your questions on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. We'll make sure to answer them, Zenra and I. Would it be beginner friendly if I haven't any coding experience? I love those questions. It feels like we've planted them so that we can really explain what web development fundamentals is about. So you wanna give it a go,
Oh,
Zenra?
sure, yeah. It is beginner friendly. It is designed to get you from zero to hero. So you can get help with installing, setting up your environment for coding, have your all your housekeeping taken care of. Like, what if I need help? How do I get in touch? It even takes you through how to post in the forum. So you kind of can get, like Ludo said, that smooth transition that first week. We even ask you a few questions like what kind of machine you have just to make sure you're good to go, and get you in the basics of how web pages are served over the internet. So it really is beginner friendly.
Yeah, perfect. Hey, Brad. Hi, great to see you. So Brad is
Brad.
a former, actually not a former, he's a graduate, former student, and also an instructor with us teaching job hunting. So
He's one
chances
of the
are, if you're
few.
registering for job hunting, Brad is going to help you out, and he has a great story to tell and tons of experience. I think Brad is I think that's his second or third tech job now, something like that. I remember Brad, you were at Home Depot first, but you moved right recently. You're doing something else. I can't remember. Anyway, Brad will be your instructor. Second job.
It means
There you go. Second job.
big ups to Brad.
All right. We have Deshaun here as well. Okay. Deshaun's question here. In today's current job market, what types of projects would you guys recommend for junior developers trying to get into their first developer role?
Mm, good question. Yeah, we have a whole page of projects for you actually on
Yeah, I
our
can
site.
actually I can bring that up as we talk. Go for it.
Mhm. But that's a great question that everybody should be asking. I didn't, unfortunately, wasn't able to start out with a boot camp because there was no new camp and I couldn't afford it. So I didn't know what kind of projects to do. I didn't even know that I needed projects. So you are way ahead of where I was at by even asking such a good question. So you want it to be a robust project. You can see some of these that Ludo's showing on the screen. It depends which boot camp you take, the technologies that you're going to be using. But if you see they're tagged by the name of the boot camp that they went through, you can click through some of those.
That's right. Um, these are examples, but really, what we will suggest to you is, and maybe you want to tell us a little bit more about yourself, Deshaun, but typically you will want to connect your past experience with the type of project you're going to build. So, typical scenario is let's say you were door dashing, right? Or let's say you were working, hotel reception. What did you hope to get, right? What was not working in those jobs? What do you think you could do better? And really build a project around that. Bring your past experience that's going to turn into a story that you're going to be able to tell. You know, at the end of the day, it's going to be a lot about storytelling. It's going to be about showing how you can identify problems, how you can create solutions, and actually deliver on those solutions through coding. And being able to tell that story, starting with something that is super personal, is going to be really the value for you. So get inspired by all those projects that I'm showing here. And and you're going to nucamp.co/graduates/projects. Pretty much you're going to job outcomes, graduate projects. You're going to find a ton of example. Maybe someone will have been in your will have had the same background than you, and you can actually get inspired by that. But really start with where you are passionate about, what your experience has been, and build the story around that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Excellent.
Mark has a question here.
Yeah, we have actually.
Yeah,
I'll take that one. We have a minimum age requirement. There's no maximum. So you've got to be an adult. You got to be legal. You got to be 18 or more when you start the course.
pretty much.
Um, there is no maximum. You want to always keep learning, keep that brain stimulated.
That's right. Morgan has a question as well. Percentage of your students who identify as women. It's evolved actually, and especially with our partnership with Google and the creation of a scholarship for women. We are now. So let me actually tell you a little bit more about the scholarship. So if you identify as a woman, we have the Nucamp and Google Cloud Women in Tech Scholarship. Uh, you have to identify as a woman here, and you actually and do an essay, either a video or a written testimonial, and you'll be eligible for the scholarship. So before we started this partnership with Google, I think our ratio was around 26%, something like that. And I
Mhm.
think we're closer to 33, 34% now. That's above the industry average, which is why it's great for us. And yeah, I mean, we really want to actually make sure that women feel like they have a place in the tech industry, obviously. So, Morgan, I hope that answers your question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh, and
Nucamp
Katie's
does a
here.
really good job. Mm-hmm. Katie, what's up?
All
Yeah.
right. And there's a follow up here from Deshaun.
Mhm. Oh, hey,
Just got out of
I
the
got out of
Navy.
the Navy a long time ago. Quite a long time ago. I left the Navy and um yeah, completely went a different route. I was doing electronics in the Navy, completely went to English literature. Big Well, it wasn't a mistake, but fiscally, fiscally, it was a mistake. Yeah, it did lead me to a great adventure overseas, but it's not really a lucrative major to get into. But yeah, good job that you appreciate our resources, and we have a huge blog archive of a lot deeper resources. So if you haven't checked out the Nucamp blog, definitely there's so much knowledge stored up in there. You should definitely take a look.
That's right. Um, all right. There is another question here from Ryan. And lots of questions. Thank you. Keep them coming. As I said, ask your questions on any of the platforms you're using to listening to us.
Mhm.
Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. Hit the chat, and we'll be here to answer you. So, question for me. Thank you, Brian. With the rise of AI, do you still think it's worth it to become a software developer? I have been self-teaching for a while now, HTML, CSS, JS. Would like to hear your opinion. Yeah. So, and I don't know if I wrote a blog on this. I think actually there's a series of 3 blogs on this one.
Mhm.
Here's the deal, and if I can actually summarize it, AI turns a 10x developer into a 100x developer. It's going to turn a junior developer into a 10x developer. But what if you're not a developer? What if you are a zero developer? Well, 0 times 10 equals 0.
Mhm.
You're not going to be able to leverage AI and the software that you want to build without knowing software engineering. So, what you're doing is right. Uh, First, AI is not going to replace software engineers. I know a lot of people were trying to say that 6 months ago, but it was really hard to be heard. Like AI was so new, and so people were impressed by it. There was a lot of momentum, uh, and now we're seeing people being more critical and be more analytical of how really AI is going to impact the world, and they're more prudent as well. And I think a lot of voices now are saying, "Hold on, software engineering is not going to disappear. Quite the opposite." Like the IBM chief said, let me see if I can find that actually. The IBM chief said, IBM CEO AI engineers. Let me see if I do news.
It's gonna be a good
There you
quote.
go.
I can feel it.
Yeah, you see it? IBM CEO has no intention of eliminating a single programmer through AI. Uh, and actually, if you read the news, and instead, to increase hiring because of AI. Um, so there's more and more. There are more and more voices that are saying, "Hey, AI is not going to replace engineers." But if you're an engineer, you have actually, if you want to leverage AI, you better be an engineer because you're going to be able to tap into that potential when others may not. So Ryan, continue to do what you're doing. Self-teaching is great until you feel stuck, until you feel like you're not growing enough. And really, when you think about a coding bootcamp like ours, and I would say for any coding bootcamp, think of it as kind of giving you the structure and the start and an end date to feel confident enough to call yourself a software engineer, to go after jobs, to build the skills, to have a structured program to go after it. You can absolutely do that through self-teaching. It's so much harder though. That's the thing. It's just so much harder because you never know when you're done. Not that you know when you're done when you're starting with a coding bootcamp, but
Yeah,
because it's
you're
always, I mean, it's a
never done.
lifetime of learning. People say, but you have kind of a framework, you have a construct to work in, and at some point you really are supposed to go after a job versus wondering, am I ready, am I ready, am I ready, and being paralyzed by it. So good luck to you, but yeah, don't let the fear or the rise of AI damper your initiative and your passion. Don't. All right.
Nice. I think you covered that very nicely. A
Thank
nice
you.
little package.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah, and a lot of people they feel like There, what Ludo always says in our other streams, there's going to be a lot more software made because it's easier to make software. So they're
Yeah.
going to need more developers, more maintainers, more people to integrate things. So it's going to increase the need for engineers.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, and Brad, you're saying LinkedIn says we canceled it. Yeah, we actually, so this event was mistakenly scheduled for Wednesday. And so we had to cancel the Wednesday schedule, which was wrong. And so now it's the Friday schedule, which is the right one. But you may actually be confused by that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Gotcha.
Alex C is saying,
Thanks.
been thinking of either going back to school and studying computer science or during New Camp. I think this is a better and quicker track. So I'll say true, but I'll always advocate for computer science as well, if you can afford it, not just the cost, but the time, the investment of time. Having computer science background will never hurt. Um, and that's also why in our programs, we're actually going back to those basics a little bit more. Like Python, we're giving with the Python bootcamp, for example, we're starting with Python fundamentals, data structure and algorithms. And then a big element of computer science fundamental in my mind is modelizing databases. Like I'll always go back to that skill of knowing how to modelize data. So we'd spend a lot of time on SQL. And we are doing that as well for full stack now with the 5 weeks on JavaScript and just the fundamentals of JavaScript. But I'll say don't dis don't kind of diss computer science altogether. It's still super relevant, but it's true that you know when you say better and quicker, quicker certainly, better yes for the cost, yes for the time spent. Uh, but if you can, if I will always say, hey, give CS50 a try, right?
Yeah.
It's free. It's the best course you can dream of from Harvard from a great instructor. Now the completion rates is abysmal. Like I think I heard someone say like 3% of anyone who started CS50 actually finishes it.
Yeah. I didn't finish it.
Yeah, me neither. But you owe to yourself to start it and give it a go, give it a try.
Mhm.
Um, and I'll you know, if you're wondering what that is, you type in CS50 anywhere on any search engine, and boom. So edX is actually hosting it. I think you probably can go straight to Harvard. Uh,
Mhm.
Duration 11 weeks. That's a lie. It's not. Or is it? Well, no. Sorry. So this one is when is if you actually want to go to Harvard.
Mhm.
What? No, it's free. Okay, I don't know what that is. That's yeah. Okay, that's the course on edX.
Yeah.
It's never
I
going to take you 11 weeks. Never.
yeah, maybe 11 months.
Not in a million. Yeah, but give it a try. Start it.
Mhm. Nice.
And I think
I'm
they've
glad you
actually,
shared that.
yeah, they have now CS50 for SQL. Like they're taking the brands in CS50, and I don't know if they have CS50 for cooking or something, but
Mhm.
see, oh yeah, game development, web programming, AI, Python. So if you make it through the the main one, introduction to computer science, you can either continue. You can also continue for the rest of it. It's free. Um, Give it a go if you're wondering about computer science and you don't want to, and maybe do it with Nucamp, right? Maybe actually you do it at the same time, but
Mhm.
definitely something to check out. All right, I
I've
hope that was
I've
helpful.
had people say like, "Hey, it's impossible to find a job that doesn't have the college in the job description, and you have to go to college in order to get your job." And um, it's just not true as it used to be. I think it used to be that kind of brick wall, the college degree, but that wall has pretty much been smashed down, wouldn't you say, Ludo?
Yeah, way more companies are announcing that they are removing the degree requirement. Um, and there's actually there's a culture movement here. I don't think it's just one or two companies. It's like over the
Mhm.
last 10 years, it's been happening. Um, Definitely tech industry more and more is removing that.
Hmm.
But I think you can find that probably in other, more traditional industries and companies. So yeah.
I think that goes with the cost of college going exponentially up. You can't have enough workers if
Well,
it's so expensive. Yeah.
seriously, if you put that requirements pretty much everywhere, because it is a company requirement no matter what, you're
Hmm.
removing yourself the opportunity to tap into a whole population and a workforce that
Hmm.
actually has decided, to your point, to not go to
Hmm.
college.
Hmm.
Um, and honestly, if you're thinking about it from an economics standpoint as well, why not give your company a chance to hire someone maybe lower wages because
Hmm.
they don't have to repay a student loan, but with the same qualities and performance expectation.
Yep.
I mean, it's a win-win for everyone, I will say.
Hmm.
So yeah. Candy's husband is in the Navy.
Get
All
this.
right.
So do you have to move around like every couple of years? How's it PCSing, if I remember correctly?
Oh wow,
Yeah.
we're super behind in questions now. It kind of
Uh oh.
started slow,
Uh
but we
oh.
have to
Uh
catch
oh.
up now. Wow.
My bad. My bad.
No, 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 it's me. It's me. But Candice,
Mm.
please let us know. I know you're Texas right now, but yeah, are you moving? And Zandra, you've
Mhm.
had the pleasure and the chance to live in Japan, right, with the Navy?
Yeah. Well, no, that was
Oh,
after the
no.
Navy.
Oh, that
Hmm.
was after the Navy? Okay.
Hmm.
That wasn't the
Yeah.
Navy bringing you there? Okay.
Yeah. They didn't fulfill my request. I requested Japan several
Yeah.
times, but they were like,
No.
no.
How do you stay motivated during the boot camp? Wow.
That's kind of part of it is like why you're in the boot camp. The part of the reason is to have that time bound portion of your journey, so it's not just study whenever you want to feel when you feel motivated. Um, so having a schedule, having a due date, you have to turn your code in at a certain time. That is part of the big boost that you get from joining boot camp. But staying motivated in general, you have your classmates, you have that chatter going on in the community. You kind of have surrounded yourself with um, those, those constant little inputs that help keep you on the track, keep you on the topic in the front of your mind. So I think that helps a lot, the
Yeah.
community.
There's an analogy that's quite used and overused, but so true. Think about learning to code the same way as having a gym membership. You can self-teach yourself. You can just buy the membership, and at first you're going to go to the gym and you're going to, do those lessons online. For the first few weeks, you're going to be on it quite a bit.
Hmm.
And then if you're self-teaching yourself or you just have a gym membership, slowly but surely you're going to stop going.
Yeah.
The difference is now, okay, you're hiring a coach, and that coach has you wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning 3 times a week, and you better be there. Because more first it's more expensive. So you're like, hey, I'm paying like the gym membership. It's like, okay, I didn't go this week, but all right. What's the harm?
Hmm.
The coach is gonna wait for you, and it's gonna, and you're gonna
And be
pay
like, hey,
more.
where are you? It's six
Yeah,
thirty.
and you're gonna be there. And so coding bootcamp is kind of that. Yeah, at the end of the day, you're not paying for the gym itself. I mean, the content is there, but you have tons of really great content, and there's so many ways to learn. You're paying for that support. You're paying for the coach that's gonna, be around you and make sure that you're there when you're supposed to be there. That you're, showing up on Saturdays or Sundays to the workshop, publishing your assignments, grading your assignment. Um, and so that's kind of that's also why it's called a coding a boot camp. It's a little bit like in the army, I guess, or navy, I would say there here is
Yeah, a little
yeah.
bit.
All right. Um, cybersecurity. So this is not going to be a cybersecurity bootcamp, although a lot of cybersecurity challenges right now comes from websites and internet services. So you're going to want to know how those are made. So I think just like Brad was saying, it's a good starting point, but it's not the end point. We are coming up with a cybersecurity curriculum in 2024. So we'll have something in that space. But yeah, I think you will not be a great cybersecurity expert if you did not understand how the internet and the web works, pretty much.
Hmm.
So good starting point, but not an ending point, an end point.
True.
Hey, Victor, good to see you.
Nice. I think I see some chatter here. I saw. I'm not sure how far behind I am in the chat, but yeah,
Where do you want to go?
I think Victor made a good uh, reply about motivation too.
Well, hey, I want to jump on what Alexi is just saying here because I did not know that. This is crazy. No way. Harvard
Say
opened its
what?
door for CS50 to everyone. They can go in person if they want to for free.
Huh.
What? Like did they rent a stadium or something? I wonder how many people show up.
Hmm. That's pretty interesting. And then by the end of the semester, how many people are still left?
No, but no, seriously,
Wow.
if I was, in that age group,
Hmm.
if I were, oh man, I need to tell my kids. I feel like, wouldn't you want to live in Cambridge, not have to pay Harvard tuition money, and just dedicate the next 6 months learning computer science at Harvard for free? You don't even have a student loan.
It's pretty cold there, though, Ludo.
I know I've been there for 3 years, but yeah, I mean, assuming you have enough to pay rent, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You're not living on the grounds.
Wow. That is pretty next level if they are doing that.
Wow, yeah, I'm floored.
Let's see. Yeah,
What is what
I
is
googled
um
it.
what is Alexi? Yeah, are you looking it up?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't see
Alexi, can
like where
if
it
you
is.
if you have a link that you can paste there, I would love to learn more about that. I think this
Yeah,
is
thank
huge.
you.
Um, hey, there's a conversation with Deshaun and Brad here. Um, Personally, took drive from the people who don't actually want to improve themselves. Holding that thought and remembering I want more for myself, and this training is a step in that.
Hmm.
That's great.
The
Yeah, I mean, you
feeling
can
of
have role models. I mean, what's the opposite of a role model that still gives you the drive? That's what
mhm.
you're describing here.
It's like avoidance rather than
Yeah. Yeah,
making
look what those people
your
got
goal.
into by not having the right approach or the right drive.
Mm,
Yeah. It's a lesson learned, pretty much, right? Yeah, and
yeah.
Brad's sharing, yeah, that was a huge drive for Brad, how he didn't feel like that was a career for him.
Mm, true. True that.
All right. So, Victor, this is funny because it feels like people are having a conversations without us now. And
Yeah,
I'm
that's the
actually,
comment that
I'm,
I skipped ahead to. Yeah.
yeah. Say you
Thanks.
will get what you put into it. The instructors at Nucamp are extremely motivating. Thank you, Victor. Do not put mental constraints on what you want to accomplish. The journey is more important than the outcome. Interesting. The journey is more important than the outcome. Really? Is that how people think about it?
I I tend to I tend to agree, but I don't. I think when you're on the journey, you don't realize that
Mm.
probably, and
Well,
also
I
the
know.
industry is so
Yeah,
focused on outcomes too.
I know. One other thing I tell graduates during the graduation parties is to look back and realize that they've made it. Like they've made it thus far, and it's actually exceptional to have been able to spend the last 6 9 months part time while life was happening, to actually graduate and finish it.
Hmm.
So the journey was significant. But is it more important than the outcome? I feel, Victor, that a lot of people that are going on that journey really are seeking, a better paycheck, a better career, a better lifestyle. And yes, I mean, they will enjoy the journey. They will appreciate what the journey brought to them. But I think ultimately they're going to look for that outcome. Hmm?
Mm. You might end up somewhere unexpected too. Like in my
Yeah,
case, I'm
that's right.
I made the developer journey. I got the developer job and everything. I did the freelancing, and I just ended up not really coding every day. And helping people with the career journey turned out to be something that I'm better at probably. Even
Mhm.
though I do enjoy coding and I still do code as a hobby, I think I'll always do that. But the journey can sometimes lead you weird places or places that you didn't expect. My dad used to always say, if you shoot for the stars, you will hit the moon. So you think you're going one way and then you end up on another plane, but it's still a good place.
Yeah.
So there's those weird parts of it too, I think.
Yeah, there's an ideal of, hey, I'm going to join a coding bootcamp where I'm going to learn to code, or I'm going to be in, I'm going to have a computer science degree, and the goalpost is, okay, you have to be a software engineer working at Google, and we're missing that there's a ton of other things
Mm-hmm.
that can happen that are available to you. I've done
Mm-hmm.
a few interviews like that with Google folks that are not software engineer at Google, while still working at Google, but technical program manager or community engagement manager, or and there's a ton of roles that are in that industry that
Mm-hmm.
are now available to you, and don't necessarily match exactly precisely, yeah, to your point, what you were thinking about.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. Very good on the chat going here. Let's see.
Let's bring. I want to bring in Laurie here. Laurie Rasmussen. Laurie is 60 years old, self-employed musician all your life. That's brilliant. I'm ready for something completely different. What are the chances of finding a tech job in my age bracket? So I always bring up Laurie from Nucamp. Uh,
Yeah. Another Lori with
other
an
Laurie.
eye. Yeah, she's a really good example of
That's right.
someone who takes
So let-
in earlier and later in life. Yeah, and she was told she couldn't do it.
That's right. You
So,
remember,
yeah.
we've lost touch. I mean, she Laurie was an instructor with us after graduating,
Mhm.
and we've lost touch. I'd like to actually reconnect. But check out the story, Laurie. Check out the story of Laurie. Let me
Mhm.
actually paste the link here. Um, this is also a campfire. So if you click the thumbnail, you're gonna have the interview with
Mhm.
between me and Laurie, where she talks about how she was denied access or denied the computer science education way back
Yeah.
when. Um, Very inspiring. Um,
Mhm.
I think she went back to live with her sister. I think she used to be in Florida, and I think she moved, something like that.
I think that's
So
right.
I guess the answer is, well, first, musicians do really well at coding.
Mhm.
Well, actually, if you look at the right corner here, we have Megan, who was a music teacher, and let's see, pool technician, restaurant
I
manager.
was a drummer, but that doesn't really count. Drummers are not real musicians, right?
But yeah, musician. I mean, a lot of musicians are describing learning music and learning to code as something very similar. So maybe you'll
Mhm.
find that as well. Um, and there are chances of finding a tech job. There are. It's. I won't say it's as easy. I will not say that there's no age discrimination, that it doesn't exist. It does
Mhm.
probably, but there's room for everyone. And just like Laurie had an impact because of her background and her experience and what she was bringing to New Camp,
Mhm.
I'm sure you can do the same.
I like Brad's reply in the
Yeah.
chat to that. Mhm.
What?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And about your uncle, Brad's uncle.
Brad's uncle. Yeah,
Tell
that's
us
right.
about Uncle Brad's uncle.
Yeah, there you go. My uncle is 64 and gets dev jobs all the time. Wow, that's pretty cool. This is what I hope I'll be when I'm 64. Like when I'm thinking about myself as a retiree, I don't think I'll ever stop coding. Like I enjoy it too much, to be honest with you. I like building stuff.
Hmm.
Um, but I wouldn't want that to be like 8 hours, 10 hours a day, like it is right now.
Building little small things.
Yeah, little small things here just to have fun.
Hmm.
Anyway. Um, oh, and Alexi got an email because she enrolled in CS50. So, Alexi, did you enroll in the in-person experience or only the online?
Yeah, I know
We
they have a
have
Slack too.
Adus. My spouse and child, good afternoon, happy Friday. Wow, the whole family is. What is that? That's kind of bizarre. So, is that your address? You're at school? That's interesting. All right. The journey. So, the conversation on, is the journey better than the outcome?
Mm.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I agree slightly there with you, Victor. You get some points from me.
Another question on cybersecurity. It's a good foundational skill for someone going into cybersecurity. Yes, it's not a cybersecurity expertise or certificate, but I think, as we said before, you're going to have a better understanding of how the internet is built, and that's really often what's needed to understand how people actually can penetrate and take advantage of it. So it's a good introduction. It's a good foundational skills. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Oh, Julia is asking, if I start the full stack program, can I continue later with the software engineering program?
Yeah, totally. Good question. Um, the full stack program is included in the larger complete software engineering bootcamp path. So it's the software engineer program is all of our boot camps taken in sequence. And the second one in the sequence that we recommend is full stack. So, yes.
Um, all right. I hear Brad says bot alert. Is that what we just saw before, the address, the Google Maps address? Oh, it probably is, right? Oh, should I ban him? I don't know. I've never done that.
He's just wishing us a happy Friday.
Yeah, I guess it
He's a
is.
good bot.
Yeah.
I just show yourself. Prove you are a human.
There you go. Yeah, say something like that we actually understand.
Hmm.
That was weird before. There was something else here that I saw.
Yeah, and just remember the Keone, the full stack is not our full offering. So you would want to have HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap, and you get a little bit of intro to Git and deployment. You get a little bit, a lot in the 4-week web fundamentals.
That's right. So let's actually talk about the complete software engineering bootcamp. What's key here is to understand it's a path. It's not a separate software. It's not a separate bootcamp. It's really you taking each bootcamp in a row, right? It's starting with web dev fundamentals, then full stack, then backend. So if you just register here, you registering to backend kind of completes the path, and then job hunting. Yeah, there you are. Um, so continue to ask your questions. We have 10 minutes left. If you're on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, hit the chat button, um, type in with your hands, and we'll answer straight away.
Mhm.
And I think we're catching up a little bit. So uh, Yash Y is confused between selecting a career between software engineering and mechanical engineering.
Hmm.
We need a little bit more insights, like what is confusing about those, and what do you think you're going to like about each one of them, and what's in the way of you making a decision. I guess we need a little bit more help.
And what country are you in, too?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was reading there's some, if you're like in Italy or something like that, you can't call yourself a software engineer unless you get very certain qualifications or something.
So, Brad, are you trying to get into Readstream? Oh, yeah, I think so. The way it worked has changed. And I think the dial-in is not working anymore for some reason. I haven't had the chance to look into that. But yeah, why
Hmm.
is Python
Boo.
not made to be used for front end so we can replace Java? Hmm.
Yeah, you can. You could use Flask or Django.
Yeah. Right.
Um, there's also now, what's that one? Is it HTMX that allows you to put Python in?
Oh, really?
Wait a minute. No, not HTMX.
Well, HTMX is brand new on the block. Uh, HTMX is using what?
I think I saw
Websites.
on Twitter there was one where you could put Python in, and it
Really?
was really weird because there was no indentation, so it looked
Oh,
really
yeah.
ugly. Yeah.
Yeah, HTMX. So I've heard about it. Actually, it's the first time I'm going to the landing page, but it's some people. I mean, there's a ton of really like YouTubers and stuff that are talking about HTMX like it's a big deal. I don't know
Mm.
what it is though.
Yeah, I haven't really I haven't
Uh,
used it at all. So,
me neither. I mean, yeah, it's one of those new things that are interesting
yeah, I'm
happening
just
in
name
there.
dropping.
Yeah.
If I
All
come
right.
across
So
that
Julia
book,
has a
I'll
question
share it.
here. I may do the boot camp in a place where rain might affect the internet. Okay. Is there a way to get extensions on homework and view the weekend coding sessions later? Hmm. What do you think, Zendra?
Hmm. Yeah, everybody's situation is different. So we try our best to help all the students to succeed. And you would want to get in touch with your instructor the moment you had any hint that something might affect your progress. Um, if you know for sure that it's going to be an issue in advance, we try try to schedule your boot camp at a time when you won't be in that place.
Hmm.
If that's not avoidable, you do have the ability to retake the boot camp at another time. There is a small fee for that. You also do have the ability to submit late. It will there'll be some penalty on your on your grade, but you can still pass. Yeah, we do try to work with you as much as possible to help.
Yeah, we are one of the kind of design principle of New Camp is to be flexible and understand that life happens. Um, so we're between kind of everything goes and you don't have you don't feel the pressure to to finish and not being flexible at all. We're trying to find that right middle. So yeah, hopefully we can help with that. The weekend sessions are not recorded for the good reason that you're never going to spend 4 hours watching people work on their code.
Mhm.
So the weekend workshop sessions are really about you working on your code with your classmates. So if you miss that, well, that means you have to work on your code, but without that live environment and your classmates.
Yeah.
Um, I love how those questions are asked. TypeScript, and why are you not adding it? So TypeScript, very interesting. I got fond of TypeScript like many, um, because I'm an Angular developer, so I'm using TypeScript every day personally. The fact that you have to recast types all the time because when you're dealing with schemas, the schema you have in your database quite often doesn't match the schema you're going to use in your code because you're adding I mean you're just doing stuff to it. You're being mean to your data schema in your code for the sake of displaying something or optimizing the code. And there's a ton of actually projects that have said, hey, you know what, TypeScript, we love it, but it is too strict. It is too doesn't the typing is too constraining, and they're actually getting away. They're removing the TypeScript element, and I think they're going to JScript schema. That's what I've learned.
Oh,
So anyway, that's TypeScript
you
is
have to compile it.
yeah, and yeah, it makes the whole thing a little bit slower, especially when you want to debug on Node.js. You have to transpile it first and blah blah blah. So anyway, the bare minimum is TypeScript. And once you know JavaScript, you kind of know TypeScript. I mean, you don't really know it to the extent of being an expert, but you understand what TypeScript is trying to do. Um, And I think it hasn't really proved itself just yet. I mean, everybody thought it had until
Hmm.
lately, where it's really getting some backlash. So I'll say it's safer to just learn JavaScript and be good at JavaScript. And if someone wants to pick up TypeScript, there you go for it. Not a
Hmm.
big deal. But definitely JavaScript first. And then maybe TypeScript in 3 years is not going to be as hot as it is today. Who knows?
Yeah, I like the way Nucamp has it set up that students have to get a firm handle on one language
Yeah.
before you go and go out into something else, either Python or JavaScript. So there's no distractions by the shiny things along the way.
Oh, so we do have a spammer bot here, Yuri. Okay, blog user on YouTube. Boom.
Oh, Yuri. Why are you trifling, Yuri? Yeah, so PyScript, I looked in my other one.
Oh
Speaking of
yeah.
shiny distractions, I'll put in the chat here for the whoever was asking about.
PyScript is
Um,
what's it's for okay, it's Python for HTML or Python for web
yeah,
front
it
end.
looks really weird. It's like
Where are those
right
guys coming from?
in the HTML.
We have Liam now. Why
Mm,
do we have so many? We've never had bots like that.
I don't know. YouTube is going down the tubes.
What is going on? Okay, I need to
Mhm.
scan through it real quick and see what's going on. Okay.
Okay, so I'll
Oh, but
take a
we're
look
behind
here.
again.
Yeah, I'll take a look here at what's popping up. Yash, you're from India. That's great to know. Welcome. And
Oh my God.
I don't
Yeah.
know how they are with their engineering there.
Okay. So
Uh,
we need. So we have Sarah here. Oh yeah, Sarah
mhm.
as well is a. Damn. Sarah is a bot. Um.
And data science question from Julia at the 52-minute mark.
Okay. Let me check. Yeah. Data science bootcamp in the works. No, we don't. We do
Mhm.
not have that in the works at this time. What we have in the works is something we're going to announce, I hope, in the next month. So I'm not going to say too much. It's coming up. And then really working on cybersecurity next.
Yeah.
Part of
Ryan, let's see, how many hours a day
Geez,
did you need?
Malfoy. How did we get so many? Okay, is Asta a bot as well?
Um,
Maybe not. I don't know.
not sure. I've
Okay,
never
so
seen it on Facebook.
Yash is responding to us. We asked him, what do you mean by being confused between software engineering and mechanical? So making things and designing always makes me happy. Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, main concern stopping me is job availability and salary to use expectations.
So do you want to design the Tesla, or do you want to write the software that runs the
Yeah.
Tesla? Because you can't do both, unless you're like
Yeah.
a savant or something.
Boy, yeah, it's a good one.
I shouldn't say you can't do both. That's probably the wrong thing to say.
You probably, yeah, you
Yeah,
never know. But
you never
so
know.
I'm not educated in mechanical engineering myself. Here's my take on it, since you're asking, and we love to hear Zendra. It feels like it's easier to pick up software engineering because it's so easy to be in front of a computer and spitting out code.
Hmm.
I feel like building mechanical things, you have to have the tools, you have to have the environment. Like, I don't think you can be a self taught mechanical engineer, right?
I think you hit the nail on the head.
You have to go to school, you have to pay the money, you have to have the
Hmm.
industrial design, machines, whatever.
Yeah,
I think it's
even if
probably super
you're Da
exciting.
Vinci. Yeah.
I would say you're probably right that there's I don't know how much demand there is in mechanical engineering, but it's not going to be, you know, you're going to have to go the traditional route to get to it. So you're not going to have the self-study person competing with you. I'm guessing. I don't know.
Mhm.
What do you think?
I think it's super huge in India where you are. So
Yeah.
mechanical engineering. Um, I think you can't go wrong if you like to build. You can't go wrong learning the software side too. So yeah.
All right. So Mark is asking for his son, 14 years old. He wants to enroll And no, he cannot be accepted, Mark. I'm so sorry because he's only 14. We can only enroll him at 18. But it's great that he's been coding since 8. I would actually question if he needs us. I mean, if he's been coding for like 6 years already since 8, he's
Hmm.
maybe. I would say send your son to computer science. Or there's a ton of coding camps for kids as well. So I will try that.
Yeah, we do like those. I like Khan Academy. Get them ready or Scratch.
Okay, we have a nice conversation, and we're actually out of time. Can you believe this?
I
All right,
can't.
did we move?
I answered Ryan just now
Okay,
about the
perfect.
hours.
I'm just checking. Did we get a other bots? Um, and then there's a ton of conversation on TypeScript and Python. We're not going to get the chance to. Oh,
Mhm.
he is so interesting. So Yash is a graduate in mechanical engineering.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that one.
So I'm not sure what the confusion is about then. Like if you've already done mechanical engineering, is it maybe getting to a master degree or something? I'm guessing.
Yeah, or some local certifications that are required if you're
Yeah.
trying to decide which to pursue. And talk to your faculty at your school as well. See what they have to say, um, especially the teaching assistants.
Yeah.
Talk to them.
Good to see you here. The Money Diary of Daniel, recently graduate. I'm a programmer. Okay, I'm not following this joke either. I feel like today is lost. I'm lost. I don't know what's happening. Like, what is OCaml? How do you write OCaml?
I
Is
think
it?
isn't
Are they
that?
making
I
fun
think
of
that's
my
a
accent?
language.
Are they making fun of my accent right now? No.
I think it's a language.
Is it no way? OCaml? Yeah. OCaml
Where's
is
the
yeah.
OCaml?
That's right. Oh my God! Look at this.
But you would never have any need for that. Is it like some special math thing? Is that the mechanical engineering thing? I don't know. Tell us. Tell us,
Oh,
Yash.
check this out. I found OCaml bytecode performance. What is OCaml?
Oh, okay.
And the world of OCaml.
Hmm.
Expressiveness and safety? What is
For
that?
writing strongly statically
First
focused.
release in 1996. Okay, is it still used? Like, is it an abandoned language or something?
A dialect of
Like,
ML.
who uses OCaml, right? 41
Mm,
companies in the world.
no way.
Oh
That's
my
a
God.
very rarefied stack.
Oh my God.
That's a very specific. If that's true,
Although
it's
Prime
really.
Time is talking, is it coming back?
Yeah, I don't know
What is
about that.
going on with OCaml? This is kind of, all right. I don't know. Well, it's a very, thank you. Interesting find, folks. OCaml. My God. And Alex's dad was uh,
Oh,
both a mechanical and software engineer.
good job, Alexis.
It's a French functional language. No way.
Ooh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Shots fired.
Okay.
They trying to get you, Ludo.
Yeah. All
It's
right.
because
Well,
it's
you know
'cause he
what?
said all
You got
vowels.
me.
That's
I'm
why.
curious now. I want to know what's going on with OCaml. I just insulted the nation of France. The French invented that? Yeah, I guess you're right. Jérôme, yeah, I missed that. Jérôme Vouillon and Xavier Leroy. We will say Xavier Leroy. Look, okay, these are the people who invented it.
We can give them their props. Give them
So it is
props to France.
Xavier Leroy. Lots of respect for Xavier. Jérôme Vouillon, Damien Doliguez, Didier Rémy. Yeah,
Okay. You've compensated now for that.
there you
You've
go.
made up for it. They are now immortalized on YouTube. Awesome. Well, good job. I think we covered
A
that
man
pretty
called
well.
Xavier Leroy. Yeah, Xavier Leroy. That's him. All right. So hey,
Anybody else
I
in
don't
the
know.
chat?
It's been fun. We went over the time limit of 1 hour. Oh, John Boston is a French. You're French as well, John.
Oh, we missed your question, Deshaun,
Oh,
about
and Nados is saying Happy Friday as well. What is going
regularly
on
using
today?
GitHub at
Yeah, the creator of
5:49
Ocaml are
p.m.
literally in your chat.
Or
What? No, are those folks? No, they're not in the chat, are they? Like John? John Boston is a creator. John, show yourself. Are you really part of the team who created Ocaml? And by the way, if you're French and you named it Ocaml, like, it means nothing in French. Like, you will never do that. Like, first, you will have to spell it like camel, like a real Camel.
uh oh, it's
Are you
getting
French
ugly.
Canadian? No, I'm French. Yes, I'm Didier
Okay,
Remy.
all right, John.
Okay, now hey,
You
I'm
gotta
gonna
you
have to
gotta
say,
prove it. You gotta
are you
email
really
us.
Didier Remy? Is that you right here?
Email us at info at
So what? Is that
nucamp.co.
you, John Boston? Did you come up with a name? All right. So hey, Didier, if that's really you, send me an email, ludo@nucamp.co. We'd love to get to know you. Thanks everyone for joining.
Okay.
Thank you, Zandra. We'll tell you next week. Um, yes, that's him.
Maybe we should do one on Git
Well, Didier, if
to make
that's
up.
you, I want the next campfire from Nucamp. I want to interview you. I want to have you on the next campfire, and I want the full hour dedicated to Ocamel, um, the French pronunciation of your project and what it's about. Apparently, it's picking up some steam right now, and it'll be fun. All right, take care, everyone.
Bye.
Hey, you want to stay here, Zendra?